him in the back. Hello?
If you can remember when polyphonic ringtones were the coolest things possible, then you definitely won't have forgotten the following filmic faces. Welcome to WatchMojo.com.
I'm the king of the world!
And today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 memorable movie characters of the 1990s.
As if.
For this list, we've looked at films and film characters from the 1990s, ranking the most memorable regardless of the genre in which they appear.
Don't do this, I can't, I won't.
Your call.
Only one character is allowed from any certain movie, however. This is part of a series of videos exploring memorable movie characters throughout the decades.
God, what am I doing here? This is beyond obsession.
Number 10, Tyler Durden, Fight Club.
Gentlemen, welcome to Fight Club.
Not many movie characters make soap and still manage to be memorable, but Tyler Durden manages exactly that.
The first rule of Fight Club is you do not talk about Fight Club. The second rule of Fight Club is you do not talk about Fight Club.
Founding member of the eponymous Fight Club, Durden knows how to handle himself in a scrap, and he can motivationally speak with the very best of them.
Who the are you? Tyler Durden.
He pairs the body of a macho man with the charm of a ladies' man, and wraps it all in a red leather jacket worth celebrating in itself.
Mother.
We all know the first rule of Fight Club, but in 1999, no one could stop talking about this guy.
That's funny.
Number 9, Jeffrey the Dude Lebowski, the Big Lebowski.
Nobody calls me Lebowski. You got the wrong guy. I'm the dude, man.
This countdown is only gonna get cooler as we move from fight clubs to bowling lanes and to a character so effortlessly awesome, he has become the very word that describes him.
I just dropped in to see what condition my condition was in.
Jeffrey Lebowski, also and appropriately known as the Dude, is the most effective advert for unemployment probably ever conceived.
My career's slowed down a little lately.
The savior of the slackers, he spends his days drinking White Russians, smoking marijuana, and half-heartedly becoming embroiled in the oddest criminal underworld known to man.
You thought that Bunny had been kidnapped, and you were f***ing glad, man. You could use it as an excuse to make some money disappear. All you needed was a sap to pin it on. You just met me, you human paraquat.
Number 8, Jules Winnfield, Pulp Fiction.
I don't remember asking you a goddamn thing.
Our 8th placed character was written for Samuel L. Jackson to play, but the actor almost lost the role to another man after his first audition.
Don't do that. Don't blow this shit off. What just happened here was a miracle.
Fortunately, Jackson was able to redeem himself on his second try, and now cinema's got one of the most unforgettable characters ever put to the big screen, with the jerry-curled, Bible-reciting hitman.
And you will know my name is the Lord when I lay my vengeance upon thee.
Smartly dressed and possessing quite a way with words, Jules Winnfield certainly knows a good burger when he eats one.
This is a tasty burger.
But he also isn't immune to a moment of clarity once in a while as well.
The truth is, you're the weak, and I am the tyranny of evil men. But I'm trying, Ringo. I'm trying real hard to be the shepherd.
Number 7, Daniel Hillard, Euphegenia Doubtfire, Mrs. Doubtfire.
Doubtfire. I beg your pardon? Doubtfire, dear? Mrs. Doubtfire.
Already a leading comedian for his generation, Robin Williams cemented his status as one of the all-time greats in the early 90s.
Hello!
By providing the voice of the genie in Disney's Aladdin.
Did you rub my lamp? Did you wake me up? Did you bring me here?
He helped open the door for half of Hollywood to get into animated voice acting. But it's his masterful turn as a bumbling housekeeper that's one of his most iconic roles. The titular Mrs. Doubtfire is newly divorced dad of 3 Daniel Hillard's attempt to regain access to his children.
We have a history. And they mean everything to me, and they need me as much as I need them.
An incredible, often impractical plan.
God, it's hot in here.
She, or he, is the Scottish nanny we all wish we had. Number 6, Edward Scissorhands.
What's your name?
Edward?
Social outcasts are rarely as adorable as our next character. Although Edward Scissorhands' story falls very far from traditional fairy tale territory.
Edward, would you?
An artificially created being. He's built almost to perfection, but he's missing one pair of major body parts. With shears and blades instead of fingers and thumbs. What Edward lacks in orthodox hands, he makes up for in creativity. Gifted at hedge trimming, hair cutting, and ice sculpting. He's seen by some as a freak, but by others as a friend. And by us as an icon of 90s film.
I love you.
Number 5, Austin Powers. Austin Powers, International Man of Mystery.
Yeah, baby! Yeah.
Another comedic actor who really nailed it in the 90s. Mike Myers headbanged his way into the decade as Wayne Campbell in Wayne's World.
Wayne's World! Wayne's World! Party time! Accident!
Before settling into the shagadelically flamboyant shoes of Austin Powers in 97.
Do I make you horny, baby? Yeah, do I?
The spoof super spy is a product of the British Intelligence Academy, only he graduated at the height of the 60s.
Woo! That is one crazy getup you got there, fella.
Yeah, thank you.
Cryogenically frozen and historically displaced into the 90s, he's bringing flower power back, one innuendo at a time. When describing this guy, only one catchphrase cuts it. Groovy, baby.
It's a very groovy time.
Number 4, Thomas A. Anderson, Neo, The Matrix.
I know Kung Fu.
One of the decade's defining movies, the bullet-bending battles between the Matrix's Neo and Agent Smith gave us 2 of the decade's most memorable characters.
Trinity! Help!
Smith is the super strong, super quick causer of all of Neo's concerns, but it's still the latter who we remember best of all. The ultimate underdog fighting against a system beyond most human understanding, let alone human control. Neo's action heroism is arguably unrivaled in the 90s. Who hasn't donned a black coat and shades and pretended they were Mr. Anderson? We certainly did. Number 3, Forrest Gump.
My mom always said life was like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're gonna get.
One of the most successful actors of all time, Tom Hanks had his fair share of memorable 90s characters, but 2 stand out in particular.
You are a toy!
His voice acting role as Sheriff Woody in Toy Story helped firmly put Pixar on the animation map, but it's his role as Forrest Gump which gets our bronze medal.
Congratulations. How do you feel?
I gotta pee.
I believe he said he had to go pee.
Despite a lower than average IQ and a less than lucky start to life, Forrest accomplishes goal after goal, inspiring person after person.
I'm not a smart man, but I know what love is.
We all love a trier, and no one tries harder than this guy.
Run, Forrest! Run!
Number 2, Dr. Hannibal Lecter, The Silence of the Lambs.
Good morning.
From the inherently decent to the inherently deplorable, Hannibal Lecter is the performance of a lifetime for Sir Anthony Hopkins, and the villain of a generation for the rest of us.
Dr. Hannibal Lecter.
A man made familiar largely through his relationship with fledgling FBI agent and memorable character in her own right, Clarice Starling. Lecter is so evil, he's impressive.
No, I came because I wanted to.
People will say we're in love.
Not first on the invite list to any right-minded dinner party. He's got away with words this one. And a taste for flesh. Flesh of the human variety.
A census taker once tried to test me. I ate his liver with some fava beans and a nice Chianti.
Before we unveil our number one pick, here are a few honorable mentions.
I can't seem to find my toothbrush, so I'll pick one up when I go out today. Other than that, I'm in good shape.
Soze looks over the faces of his family. Then he showed these men of will what will really was.
The rifle is the first weapon you learn how to use, because it lets you keep your distance from the client. The closer you get to being a pro, the closer you can get to the client. The knife, for example, is the last thing you learn.
Well, I don't know why I came here tonight. I got the feeling something ain't right.
No, I don't know. You said it. How do I know? You said I'm funny. How the am I funny? What the is so funny about me? Tell me. Tell me what's funny.
Number 1, Terminator, T-800, Terminator 2, Judgment Day.
I need your clothes, your boots, and your motorcycle.
Our podium already has a good guy and a bad guy. Our winner is a little bit of both.
Come with me if you want to live.
When the Terminator first time traveled onto our screens in the 80s, the Arnold Schwarzenegger character was definitely a villain. But in the early 90s, in the more successful sequel to the franchise, Arnie's T-800 has learned the value of human life.
My CPU is a neural net processor, a learning computer. The more contact I have with humans, the more I learn.
And is bidding to save John Connor, and effectively save the future of humankind.
Hasta la vista, baby.
The worthiest of heroes with a uniquely badass edge, the Terminator gets a huge thumbs up from us. Do you agree with our list? Which 90s character do you remember most of all?
A tall drink of water with a silver spoon up his ass.
For more nostalgia-inducing top 10s published every day, be sure to subscribe to WatchMojo.com.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did I break your concentration?